Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank God it's Friday.
It is Friday.
Yeah. Aha! What's up, peoples? Time to get up, move your bodies.
Hello.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Is this thing going?
You know what time it is. Is this thing on?
Hello.
Check 1 2 1 2 1 2. This show is dedicated to you, the chat chimers. Nature's God. Yep.
UGK for the win. I'm gonna have to tell you about my Corey Mo story.
Hold up. UGK for the win?
UGK for the win, man.
Last I looked, it was like 8-ball and MJG was up. Really happened.
Oh, y'all talking about the verses?
Oh, he talking about verses. Oh, good morning, good morning, good morning. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B.
In the morning.
Buddi3 Da Gawd, Star Trek Rich in the house on this Friday, May 27th, 2022. What's happening, y'all? Man, thank goodness it's Friday. How you feeling?
Tired, boss. Tired as always.
You tired?
It seems like well, I'll be honest, man. I did it to myself again. I was in the studio late last night to about. I can't tell y'all, man. I didn't get home till like 5 a.m. last night. Yeah, man.
What you mean last night? You mean this morning? 5.
Yeah. Basically, running on fumes. But you know, it's the life I chose. We here. We doing the thing. We live.
This is true.
This is the morning. Top of the morning to you.
You did it to yourself. Man, we got a lot of good mornings already. Everybody's up with us. That's what's up. Brother Valentine says, amen, brother. What's happening? Pop says, good Friday morning to the First Sky fam and crew. Rome says, UGK for the win. Okay. Amy Huffless in the morning says, good morning, fam. Excuse me. Judy Prince says, morning, fam. What's happening? Looks like we got a good morning from Kimra Snipes in the house. What's happening? Good morning. Good morning. Brother Valentine says, UGK. 8-ball MJG all the way. Yeah, we got to talk about that for a minute. Christy Schnorr, I'm sorry, says good morning. She's over here on the Friends of First Sky Omaha, so appreciate you. We got one from Wanda Lewis, says good morning. How you doing, Miss Lewis? Leia Keister says, we have arrived. Happy Friday. Yeah, man, I'm feeling it. Like I said, I usually work on through the weekend, but still something about Fridays feeling pretty good right now.
Yeah.
It's been a long week.
It has. It has. It has. It's been feeling like Wednesday for the last couple days. Like the last couple days, you know, it's just feeling like we've been stuck in the middle of the week.
So what you're saying is you haven't been able to get up over the hump?
Not quite, man. Not quite. And honestly, I don't. Maybe I feel like that after a quick nap after the show or something. Well, we'll see.
There you go.
Yeah, man.
Okay, we got Chelsea. Man, see, she just told me Erpling.
So it's not Erpelding?
It's I can tell you that much. It's not Erpelding. So Erpling. We gotta do it again. Sorry. Chelsea's in the house. Happy finally Friday. Yeah, man. Kimmer Snipes says, now I'm in the right spot. There you go. See, I see your name now. Appreciate you coming on through.
In the place to be.
In the place to be. If you're over here in Friends of First Sky Omaha, join us on the main page. We can see your name, see who's making comments. You know what it is. We're all here to do this group storytelling thing that we do. Man. So we need all y'all.
Yeah, it takes all of us. It takes a collective to get down to the bottom, the nitty gritty of the madness that's going on in the world, man. So, man. We welcome everybody. Appreciate everyone for tuning in with us. All the first time listeners, last time listeners, ghost listeners, chat chimers, all y'all.
Brother. Let's see. They must have been a versus last night. Was there a versus last night? Okay, so UGK for the win. Is that what happened?
I didn't see it.
Okay, so was that the verses though? UGK, 8Ball, MJG?
Yeah, UGK versus 8Ball, MJG Memorial Day weekend last night, May 26th. From it started at 5. I'm pretty sure it's still available. Actually, I don't know if you checked out. Oh, they was here. Oh, they was here in Atlanta.
It was right around the corner. Right around the corner from your house.
Dang, I
right around the corner. Right down the street.
Hey, man, right down the street.
Because brother Mayor Sanchez put a little thing out asking about like who you like, and his little survey said 8Ball MJG was up. So that's what I thought. So when he came back and said UGK for the win, I'm like, okay, but that wasn't his survey. Probably it was probably. Let me know, man. Was that your survey you're talking about that ended up winning, or was it the verses last night? Let us know. I would have thought it would be 8Ball MJG myself. That's who I would have chose.
Although that could have been in the building.
That's a tough one though. It's neck and neck for me, really.
Yeah, I have to go with UGK. I have to go UGK personally.
We're talking about rap, y'all. For y'all who are listening.
Yeah.
Southern rap is what we're talking about. Yeah, the hippity hop. Brianna Full gives us a good morning with some sunshine. What's happening? Todd Pinson says, "Morning, love, Omaha. Love that. For sure. Appreciate you." Thanks for everybody. Kimber Snipes says she got to go with UGK too.
I'm saying, man. I'm saying,
neck and neck, bro. It's neck and neck for me. It's neck and neck.
I mean, UGK got a couple ones, but you know,
MJG and what's up?
And Pimp C. I mean,
oh yeah,
Beeee. You know, it's hold up. All right. So Kimra, I gotta tell my Corey Mo story. I gotta tell my hold up. So you know, I'm down here DJing, and I'm a part of a pretty big DJ, coalition DJs, ATL. It's actually a national coalition of DJs. And through that, I go to events and I meet all kind of people. And I happen to go to an event that was at the Corey Mo studio. Met him, chilled with him, definitely cool person. Didn't even realize who he was until like just kind of meeting him and like kind of soaking it in. But for those who don't know, Corey Mo is the DJ who the producer who created the sound of UGK country rap tunes. A lot of their majority of their projects, especially with Pimp C, was produced by the Corey Mo, who has a studio here in Atlanta. I see him all the time, just about every Monday. And yeah,
you got me going back on my thing now because I'm thinking about UGK hits now. I'm thinking about that one they did with BB King, and they really they rap down south in a big way.
Well, and also like they're still at it, man. Corey Mo just dropped a project with Bun B. He got a song with Talib Kweli and Toby Ingwe on there. Like, yeah, man, country rap tunes all the way. Sister Snipes all the way. Like they still cooking up, and I'm right there, man. So as far as what I'm doing personally, trying to make that Omaha connection, man. It's a lot of dope artists in Omaha that can benefit from these types of connections.
If he's over there rubbing elbows like that, who you want to see him bring back over here to Omaha to play for a show? Let us know. Let us know
that part.
Let me go up a little bit, brother. Mayor Sanchez says 8Ball and G had the hits. UGK had the anthems.
I'm saying pocket full of stones.
Hey, what's up, Stacy McClain? Honeycut, what's going on? You'll see over there, and our friends of First Sky. Appreciate you tuning in this morning. Kimber Snipe says, but MJB spits. That's real.
Oh yeah.
Stacey Jean gives us a good morning, First Sky Omaha family and friends with some sunshine. Appreciate you. Precious McKesson gives us a good morning, First Sky family. How you doing? I saw that picture. She had the picture with her daughter. Had me cracking up. They was at graduation and they all dressed up, looking good in the picture. But Precious got this look on her face, looking at the daughter like, it can still go down even on graduation day. I was cracking up.
Give us the backstory.
She looked like she's gonna get a whooping in her cap and gown. Whatever was going on.
Yeah, never too late.
It's never too late. Kimber Snipe says Brian Freeman, aka Bun B, is also a professor. Did not know that.
Yeah. What? I want to say at Rice University in Houston.
Wow, that's interesting, man.
Yeah, I mean, Bun B is a philanthropist. Actually, so this is, I'm gonna put this out there.
All right.
Bun B just had a rodeo. Like Bun B just had a Houston show at a Houston, Texas rodeo.
Wait, you mean like a rodeo, like
a rodeo, like a rodeo, but they had like slabs and swangers on the dirt at the rodeo, and that gave me an idea.
Making that money then.
Well, it gave me an idea. Talking about Omaha connection and bringing, interesting cultural events to Omaha.
It's gonna be a lot.
What if we had like a celebration of a black, so-called black rodeo?
Yeah, black.
And we have
black cowboys with UGK performing, right?
All right, and not just UGK, but like Meg the Stallion-esque type of like, and everybody's out there, cowboy hats, boots.
The black rodeo.
Black rodeo in Nebraska.
And Nebraska got a whole bunch of venues getting ready to open up for all this country stuff too.
All right.
Mark Manor was talking about. Stephen Abraham.
Y'all think would be interesting? Is that something y'all can see happening?
Yeah, let us know about that. What do you think about that? Yeah, because you say rodeo, I ain't going, but this sounds intriguing. I might have to hit that one.
And there's some actual organizations of African American cowboys and cowgirls that actually compete, on a national level. It would be interesting to kind of bring all of those cultural things together to shine a light. Just, we country too.
Man, y'all country. I don't know about me. Stephen Abraham gives us a good morning. He said A-Ball MJG did their thing, but UGK won that. Okay. Precious said loves her some UGK. That's what's up. Kimber Snipes says A-Ball, MJG, and UGK are both top 5 for my third coast list. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Amy Helpless says the look. Precious says, yeah, that look, man. That look she gave her daughter was classic. She said her and her daddy tried me.
Oh, okay.
You gotta find that picture. You gotta find that picture. That was hilarious. Let's see. Mayor Sanchez says the Versus is the soundtrack to my life. Like that Versus show, bro.
Okay.
Said he met A-Ball a few times. Precious says, yep, Bun B ran for office in 2020. Man, Bun B's
Man, Bun B, I would be surprised if he was the mayor of Houston, man. Bun B is that dude.
Wow.
Very intelligent brother.
Kimmer Snipes says that Slim Thug goes kind of hard too. Now y'all know my guilty pleasure, Third Coast music. This is the first time I'm hearing this. I just heard Third Coast yesterday too. It's funny how things happen. You hear something and now it's coming up everywhere. Third Coast music, never heard that before. And your boy Scarface was running for city council when I was there a few years ago. Yeah. I'm all about Scarface and what he's been doing for real. Pop says, "Hey Paul, Uncle Al used to come all the way to Vegas every year to attend the rodeo. So there's a niche for sure." Yeah, my Uncle Al, they call him the cowboy, man. Little Caesar, he was no joke. He was the straight up cowboy.
I mean, that's all my grandpa watched. Like just about every elder that I had, they watch westerns. That's what it is.
He rode a motorcycle, Ebony Wheels. He was in the club and was a straight up cowboy, bro. Straight up. That's like the Iron Horse for him.
I'm telling you.
Precious McKesson says someone from Omaha is family with Bun B. They was VIP at the Black Radio and has real nice cars like what was seen in that Black Rodeo. Oh,
I'm telling you.
Oh, we could bring the cars out in the rodeo too.
That's what I'm saying. It's a whole cultural event. It's a thing. It's a thing that I could definitely see actually bringing some pretty high profile celebrities. If they can go to Kanye West out in Wyoming, they can have a essentially located Black rodeo in Nebraska.
All I'm seeing is dollar signs. That's what I'm just seeing bling, bling, bling everywhere, bro.
Okay.
It's popping up like that's money. Because we've been talking about it. You don't pack out the CenturyLink Center unless you're Lil Wayne or it's the rodeo. You know what I'm saying?
So why don't we do both?
Precious said, "Buddy's on to something." All right, let's get going. He said, "What? Where you been hiding, Paul? And who are your friends?" Yeah, bro. I don't, hey, I'm from California. We didn't do too much third coasting. Except for my third coast is Outcast. That's what's up.
Okay.
That's what's up on my end. That's how far south I went.
Even when Snoop was with No Limit, y'all wouldn't.
I did like No Limit too. Yeah, I was about No Limit. Master P's my dude, but that was I didn't get too far into his music, but I did get into his business.
Okay.
So, who give me a good morning over here? Got another Facebook user. I'm not seeing who that is, but good morning to you as well. Anyway, I'm glad we started off with a little lighthearted conversation today with all the heaviness going on. 7:15, if you believe in the concept of time, buddy. What are we gonna be talking about today?
Yeah, I'm definitely glad we kind of started off a little light because it's kind of gonna get heavy a little bit.
In a heavy week, and it's gonna get
man. Still reeling, still having reactions from again the tragedy that struck in Texas. Talking about Texas and culture of Texas. A lot of people speaking up. Actually, I'm seeing a change in tone, which I do want to talk about throughout the show. Even watching sporting events and everything. I was watching the Dallas Mavericks game the other day, and they had a moment of silence, but after the moment of silence, there was an actual call for action. They asked everyone in the arena to contact and gave them information and instructions on how to contact their legislature, the legislators and senators, to push legislation. And this is again an official statement from a multi-billion dollar corporation as a professional sporting team. I've never seen or heard that, after an event like that. So that was very interesting. So we'll definitely be talking about that. There's been a walkout at Benson High School. There's also been an incident at an Omaha area elementary school involving a possible threat. So we'll talk about that. Also some things happening with gun laws. Paul, you kind of called it with the AR-15s and the deer. We'll be talking about that coming out of Iowa. Our neighbors always doing something. And then also we didn't really get to this, but we definitely have to talk about this police reform bill or police reform. What is it? The order, executive order that was issued by President Biden, and more. Of course, if there's anything on your hearts, your minds that you'd like to discuss, we're here for the next 2 hours. So as always, please comment, chime into the chat, let your mind be free, let your voice be heard. But we're a little behind schedule, so let's go ahead and get this thing rolling. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Star Trek Rich, all of you, let's go.
Hey. Good morning. Once again, you're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Star Trek Rich in the house. All of you, the chat chimers, thanks for joining into the chat. It is Friday, the 27th of May, already coming up on June. Man, it's moving right along. Thanks for joining us. Thanks to everybody over on the radio channel as well. 630 Club, let me know how the 630 mix was for you. And let us know what's going on there. Remember, we do have a radio channel. You can go to firstskyOmaha.com, hit the listen button, and check out the radio channel. And if you happen to have any requests or anything like that, just hit us up on Friends of First Sky Omaha. Let us know what you're listening to. Kimmer Snipes says Outkast is also top 5, Ghetto Boys as well, and Goody Mob. Yeah, man. I gotta admit, I do like all that. I came late to the game to it, but I did like the down south stuff. Pops was actually a No Limit soldier back in the day.
Yeah, he's totally all caps.
Even before I was into it, he was totally into No Limit. He was a No Limit soldier, huge fan. Brooke gives us a good morning. Precious says the stories coming from Texas on how the situation was handled is so heartbreaking.
Yeah,
man. Yeah, very, very incompetence. There's some incompetence going on there with law enforcement. Why did the Border Patrol get in and shoot the dude? Lots of questions there for sure. Precious says happy to see these large entities using their influence. Very much so.
Yeah.
So the governor of Texas is speaking at the NRA conference today. How sick is that? After 21 kids and teachers are murdered right there in your own state. Amy Huffle says, man, I was a board meeting last night, and our organization works with a small healthcare center in Uvalde, and it was a small community, and the folks from our healthcare center were directly affected by 7 of the lives lost there ripple effect, man.
Yeah,
It's close to that. That's harsh.
man.
Go ahead.
Just real quick, in meeting all these celebrities and things like that, one big thing that you realize is the world is a lot smaller than you would think. The world is a lot smaller than you would think, and you know the saying or the concept that an injustice everywhere or an injustice anywhere is an injustice everywhere is true, man. Like even going back to the Ukraine thing, the Haiti, like any tragedy, you can almost tell a story about how that trickled down and directly affected someone close to you.
Big time, man. Brooks says you heard about the husband of one of the teachers murdered had a heart attack and died yesterday. They're saying that they're saying that he was It's rough, man, just rough.
Yeah, man.
Also, Kimmer Snipe says, I hope y'all read LB 1024, the Economy Recovery Act, and this funding coming to East Omaha, and read the RFP for the contractor for the study that has been done too. It mentions neighborhoods and communities numerous times. We got to hold folks accountable, y'all. Yeah, we're going to definitely talk about LB 1024 today, and have a try to get that call out. People apply who can qualify, who have contracting companies that can qualify for some of this stuff. We'll definitely be talking about that a little later on.
Mm-hmm.
But in the meantime, between time, let's go ahead and jump into the article, man, because we gotta get into it.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. And while we're talking about that in regards to LB 1024, which we will get to a little later on, if anyone attended that event that they had yesterday, feel free to drop that in the chat and let us know, just real quick what your thoughts were, any takeaways that you had from that.
Yeah, Fabric Lab event that had featured Justin Wayne there that they had yesterday, kind of a town hall situation. So if you were there, if you were able to watch it, love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah. But we'll kick this thing off and kind of have this conversation starting in our own backyard, and we'll expand out to the national view if that's all right. So yeah, we'll kick off with the incident that actually happened in Highland Elementary School just last night. I don't know if anyone heard about this incident. This did occur after school hours, but there was an incident in which a nonprofit employee who runs an after-school program was leaving a building when a child near the playground made a threat and apparently showed the employee what appeared to be a gun. Eventually, police arrested an 11-year-old boy, again, after allegedly displaying what has eventually been confirmed as a fake gun and threatened the person outside of Highland Elementary School, which is located just north of 27th and Harrison, around 6:30 p.m. The employee apparently called 911 when the police arrived. They did not see the child on the scene, but did locate him later and determined again the firearm was fake. He was arrested and on suspicion of terroristic threats and transported to the Douglas County Youth Center. So there is an incident that happened. It is again has been under control, but just these types of incidents happening right now.
Yeah, Precious said, "Wow, this could have turned out so different." That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking you call 911 on an 11-year-old, he might get shot depending on his hue. Number one, and he's waving around a toy gun too. On top of that, so
wasn't Tamir Rice 11?
I believe he was. Yeah, I believe he was. Yeah. So ain't like it's never happened. It's never happened before where a kid got shot and killed over having a fake gun.
Right.
And I also got some thoughts on him getting arrested and getting charged with terroristic threats.
Really?
Is he old enough to know what a terroristic threat is?
Yeah, I do kind of wonder, like when I read the report, it's like, okay, what was the gesture? Like what was the threat? What was the threat?
These are children we talking about, man.
Was this? Yeah, and what's the chances of Yeah, I am kind of. What was the threat? Was the kid playing? I don't know. I don't know
either. Kimmer Snipes, they're so scary all around. That's all I can think about. Like just a scary situation all around for sure.
Yeah. Because you don't know if the gun is fake or real.
Yeah. And you don't know how scared the kid is either. He's hearing about all these school shootings and everything too. He probably got scared and thought I'll bring something to school to scare somebody else off. Or something, who knows what an 11-year-old is thinking? They're a child. Their brain is not fully developed. Like,
true.
Kimmer Snipe says Scanner said he threatened to shoot staff.
Okay.
Precious said no blaming the stuff for calling they are supposed to call, but for this kid carrying a fake gun and waving it, yeah, I mean, what else you gonna do if you're not sure if the gun is real or not? I guess you're gonna have to call law enforcement. Um, and I'm glad law enforcement acted right with it. He's not dead.
I just see he's a child. He's near the playground, has a fake gun. And we're here to kind of read between the lines. You know what I mean? That's the whole point of what we do here. So maybe it's well, for sure it's a scary situation all the way around.
Yeah.
And just hope this doesn't impact this child too much.
Yeah, for sure. Precious said her comment cut off. We have to talk to our kids. Can't be doing things like this. Yeah,
True.
this is very true. And a lot of discussion right now too. I'm just thinking about kids are not being they're not hearing about these school shootings. They're actually getting trained to duck and cover and all kinds of stuff. They have drills and stuff like that going on all the time for if a shooter does come in. So like there's even more discussion probably needs to be had with kids and checking them on a daily basis walking out the door to school. It's unimaginable. It's unimaginable what they even are thinking about. If I was 11, I was thinking about some school shooter. I would have thought that I can go stop the shooter because I'm Spider-Man right now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Man. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I probably wouldn't be thinking like that, but I did, have BB guns and the realistic looking BB guns with the orange tips, and you go to Canfields and they used to have them at Walmart for like very, very cheap, very cheap. And it's all kind of go back to just the gun culture, which we'll be talking about throughout the show. So it's just ultimately you kind of whittle it down to this very unfortunate situation, and like sisters Kimber Snipes and Precious McKesson are saying, we just got to talk to the babies, man. Got to talk to the babies, and again, any change in culture ultimately starts at home.
Yeah, it has to. It has to.
Man, that's what Kimber said. Yep.
Or the village. I like that. Precious said my nephew did this recently, but wasn't waving it. I was so hurt. All I can think of him is coming in contact with the police. Right. Brooks said the earthquake drill was the scariest thing in school to me. I hate having to talk about my son having active shooter drills.
Yeah, I mean, I had this conversation with my dad just the other day. Like, man, could you imagine sending me to school with this? And again, I just signed my son up for public school. So, it's a very, very troublesome time, man. But I will say, man, the future is with the youth. Big shout out to the students at Benson High School who walked out just yesterday afternoon calling for change and gun control after, again, the tragedy that struck Valde, Texas, also Buffalo, New York, just 10 days prior to that. And you want to include California in that situation as well. And just that everything that's been happening, I will say, man, like it's very cliche, but I think all of this stuff is impacting our youth. I think Precious had mentioned it before. Like these youth are a little more proactive than I remember being, and I remember my peers being. As far as students involved in protests, students involved in walkouts, things like that. This isn't the first time that students have walked out for some cause that they felt strongly about.
Yeah,
very, very telling about the future. I mean, kind of gives me hope. But again, if you haven't heard, there's a demonstration organized Wednesday night and Thursday morning by students. Seniors and juniors alike were out of class, and there's a crowd of students made up of freshmen, sophomores, and juniors. One student said, if I'm standing in my classroom taking a final and a shooter comes in with a gun that he purchased legally with insufficient background checks, what am I going to do? My textbooks aren't going to defend me. Is that final going to be worth anything? These kids aren't stupid. They're actually very, very smart and keeping things in perspective, which is interesting. Another junior, Robert Simpson Harris, believes all students at the school had thought about what they would do in the event of an active shooter. I mean, how could you not in these days? He went on to say a child shouldn't have to think about how would I save everybody? How would I sacrifice myself? Another student called for legislative change, saying we're going to be next in control. Children's lives matter more than a collection of AR-15s. They're saying, man.
Jumping in the chat real quick. Precious says our babies are hurting and we have to protect them. That comment you just made there about a kid having to just think about how they're gonna save everybody or sacrifice themselves. That's crazy. Black Dynamite gave us a good morning a little earlier. He says a wild thing is back when Columbine happened, the world thought it was the craziest thing ever. Chelsea says, yeah, me too. Yeah, we all did. We totally did. Marianne Williams says the Uvalde shooter participated in active shooter drills his entire life. We had trained him well. We trained him to know where the hiding places are.
That's what I'm saying. I made that mention last time. I think Dave Chappelle made the joke, but a lot of jokes come from a real place.
Yeah. Kimber Snipes says, yeah, when we walked out of Bryant, it was about uniforms. These kids facing whole different problems. I didn't have dead homies in middle school. Star Trek Rich in the chat says a teacher friend of mine told me they just had an active shooter drill to review their procedures. Afterwards, one of her first graders said to her, I think I'll get shot first because my desk is close to the door. What kind of thing is that for a first grader to say? Says, so what's the conversation that our district needs to have right now? Good question. Well, one of the conversations we need to have is we need to get some new blood in here and get Pistol Pete out.
Man, and we'll talk about some of the legislative moves and what the grand old party is up to nowadays. But that's a great question, Kimmer.
Yeah.
And it's definitely got to be more than drills. I think first and foremost, we need some people like Peyton Hogan. We need some young individuals, like some young individuals that are in the mental health field to come and talk to these students. We need first they need somebody just to talk to them, man.
I read somewhere that the governor of Texas just decided, or 2 days or 3 days before that, took a whole bunch of money out of mental health in the state.
Really?
Yeah. Like it doesn't directly affect that in 2 days, but the point is, that's the thought.
This is not, man. I'm just thinking about the mental health of it. I'll be candid, y'all. That's why I changed my life. Towards the end of my high school career, I wasn't making the best choices. I almost did not make my senior year. I was facing 1 to 20. It's very heavy on the mind to live life having to always worry about getting shot. Always worry about, looking over your shoulder. But you understand that if you're choosing to live a certain life in the street and choosing to, do certain things, that's what comes with it. That's it's easier to accept it that way. Well, but if you're just going to school,
right? That's what I'm saying.
You're just trying to live life. You're just trying to do right and be straight, and you still got to worry about that.
You're trying to go to the grocery store, get some food. You trying
I can't imagine
hit them books, be at school hitting them books.
I can't imagine, and I know the stress that I've seen it. Not just live it, but I've seen it. Worrying about getting shot.
We live in a state where they'll probably do stuff like give teachers guns and stuff like that. That's when we think about what's actually going to be done, we live in a state where the gun laws. Kimber Snipes said it earlier too. She says I'm about having a gun, but I'm also about background checks and everything else.
Right.
They tried to pass, and they were trying to pass a bill to have unconcealed or unpermitted concealed carry in this state, but it got shot down.
Not even open carry, to where I at least know you got the gun. Concealed carry.
Brooks said after Columbine, they had metal detectors and bag searches with police presence at the entrance of my school in New York. It was stressful every morning coming in, but I felt safe once I got in. Yeah. I mean, they got to set it up like they set up the schools like prisons so they can make sure everything's all locked down and the teachers are going to be guards and everything else. I remember back in the 80s, one of my favorite movies was Stand By. What was this? What was the one with Joe Clark and them?
Not Stand By Me.
No, it was one. It was something. It was like, man, what was the name of that movie?
I know exactly what you're talking. So come on, y'all, help with Morgan Freeman. Help us out, y'all.
Yeah, with Morgan Freeman, help me out. It was a movie about that teacher Joe Clark. Lean
on me, not Stand By Me. Thank you.
I know somebody was doing On Me somewhere. Lean on Me. Lean on Me was like the opening scene. They had Welcome to the Jungle playing from Guns N' Roses, and
Welcome to the Jungle,
and they was just wilding out and running through the hallways and fighting each other and beating teachers up and all kinds of craziness, and they ended up having to have metal detectors and locking doors and all kinds of stuff, and that's like a lot of schools now,
man. Unfortunately, I've seen some people on social media propose having, like, I think someone said it'll cost $57 million to have two. Did you see that post?
To have two, yeah, I think it was
two National Guard.
Latham said that. Yeah, he said 2 National Guard members per school in all the schools would cost $56 million. But when I read that, I was like, oh, that's interesting. But then I said, but I don't want 2 more guns in school. Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, the solution, that we live in a state where the solution is going to be give more good guys guns.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's just the good guys, because as you mentioned and Camera, alluded to, you cannot give these teachers guns. Listen, y'all, this is a real bill that has already been proposed on the Nebraska legislative floor that was being debated and I believe was shot down before COVID, like right before COVID. If anyone knows the bill number, please help me out. Precious Camera, if anyone y'all know the bill number, but this was a bill. Yeah, I remember Brother Leo Lewis being very adamant and vocal about this situation. That's kind of what that bill was also coming out around the time when the data from OPS about the expulsions and the race that led to Brother the Raw Rule being fired.
Yeah, Brother Sharif. Yeah.
Yep, that was all happening at the same time.
Oh man, yeah, me too, Precious. They used to call me Crazy Joe. Now they can call me Batman. That's my jam too. Let's take a quick break, man, and we'll come back. And it is 7:38 right now. If you believe in the concept of time and you're keeping track of it, we'll take a quick break and come back. Definitely more things to talk about here. Thank you, everybody, for all your comments so far. I just want to say, Fair East Side.
Hey.
We'll be right back. Stay tuned. First Sky Omaha Radio. It's going down.
Hit it with the fat finger, huh?
Fat fingered it again. Joe Clark said, "You want to kill yourself? Do it expeditiously." Don't jump off the building. Yeah, man. Welcome back, First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Star Trek Rich, all of you, the chat chimers. And yeah, man, Pops says Lean on Me was the name of a movie based on a true story. Joe Clark was a heavy dude and the principal. He died about 3-4 years ago, too.
Yeah, actually, I did hear about that.
Yeah, and he was one of the first ones to really kind of like go in and change an inner city school that had a bunch of problems, killings and shootings and all kinds of stuff going on. It's always been bad, but this is a different level of bad going on right now with these the fear of the mass shooter.
Man.
Yeah, it's messed up. In the which song is gonna be in your head all day, Marianne? She said, now that song's my head all day. Fair East Side. That's my jam. Preston says, so now I have to watch Lean on Me this weekend. Yep, I hear that.
Yep.
At this point, I just want our schools protected. I hate being glad about the fact that my baby ain't in school anymore. I can't even imagine. Yeah, man. While parents are out here anxious. Parents, uncles, grandparents, we all very, very, very anxious about what's going on here, man. Like,
yeah, I
got questions and concerns still. If you're just joining us, it's 7:41. If you believe in the concept of time, we were definitely talking about how this gun situation that happened the other day in Texas, and how it affects us here, and things that are going on here. Some kids, some high schoolers walked out in protest. A little man went to school with a fake gun, probably scared, probably thinking he was going to try to save everybody. Who knows? Who knows what he was thinking? But now he's arrested and being charged with terroristic threats. And many more things happening around the city. I'm quite sure that we don't quite know about. But except for everybody is sending their kids to school, anxious is all get up right now.
Man, walking on eggshells for sure. And I did want to add something to this Benson High School story that definitely we got to mention. In a letter to the families, the principal actually said that any students who missed class will be marked as truant in regards to this walkout. So that's very interesting that the principal was this tone deaf on that one. But there is a letter. It says, "Dear Benson High staff and families, today our administration was made aware of a student walkout in protest in response to the horrific attack in Uvalde, Texas. Students in many schools across the country organized similar demonstrations, and we wanted you to be aware. At Benson, our top priority is to support the academic and social emotional needs of our students while maintaining a safe and orderly learning environment for all. Students are expected to attend classes and understand there are natural consequences when classes are missed, truancy, missed assignments, etc. But they did say we all share in the grief our students feel. We respect and support the right of our students to advocate for causes that are important to them. We welcome the opportunity to work with any student about appropriate and creative ways to do so while at school. I encourage you to talk to your children about how they may be feeling, or our counselors in the Safe Schools Hotline, 531-299-SAFE, are additional resources available to families. And I do want to repeat that again. That Safe Schools Hotline is 531-299-SAFE. And school policy is that students not in class will be marked as truant. So hopefully they can get that truancy kind of cleared off of their record, because this is a noble cause, man. It's a noble cause. But
yeah, Brianna Fool is saying that there's another student walkout planned for after this afternoon at Central High. So, Brother Rich says, what are the consequences of being marked truant?
I believe if you have enough truancies, there could be legal action, if I'm not mistaken, if you have enough truancies. But I think if you have a pretty good attendance record, one truancy shouldn't make or break things.
Pops in the chat says, my friend Curtis Clay came up with developed a program that the state of Texas adopted. It is a program where they go out to schools and assess the weaknesses and vulnerabilities and security of the physical school, and they train kids how to react to gun violence in school and how to recognize kids who are having trouble and showing signs of imbalance. The program has been happening for the last 30 years. My friend has been busy every week since the beginning. That's interesting. It's an interesting tactic there.
It is. I mean, we talked about I think Elkhorn schools and the Larson, kid who just walked out, and the need for cameras for that type of event. I mean, yeah, cameras will come in handy here too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's that's more of an argument for cameras again, for sure.
At least on the exits and entrances.
At the very least. Brother Valentine says self-respect permeates every aspect of your existence. If you don't have respect for yourself, you're not going to get it from anyone else. Quoting Joe Clark again from the
there you go
from the movie. So that's the gems. Brianna Fool says getting into some good trouble. These kids walking out of the class, but the school shouldn't mark them as truant. They're trying to use their voice. We need to listen and provide space for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Again, tone deaf from the principal.
Chelsea says it's the last days of school. Why do they care? It takes a lot of absences to get a truancy charge. Good point. Any graduation time right now?
So I'm saying.
Tone deaf and ridiculous. Kimmer Snipes says she's talking to Brianna Fool, something to get folks to talk about at school board meetings. Yeah, I wonder what kind of conversations are being had about that kind of stuff at school board meetings. We can watch them, we can see them. What kind of conversations are being had right now about safety, about child safety.
Well, I can't necessarily tell you the conversations being had in the school board, but I can definitely tell you the conversations being had in the legislature. It's not looking good. Again, a bill allowing Nebraskans to carry concealed weapons without a permit again missed the mark on Monday in the Nebraska legislature, which that is good. But again, that's not the end of it. Lawmakers voted 31-9 on a filibuster ending cloture motion on legislative bill 773, which again is too short of the number needed to succeed. The vote means the measure is dead for this year. But of course, State Senator Tom Brewer of Gordon, Nebraska, who actually sponsored the bill, has his sights already set on next year for trying again. He says next year will start all over again. He vowed, predicting that the newly elected lawmakers will change the makeup of the legislature and provide enough votes for the measure to pass under LB 773. Which was also co-sponsored by a majority of state senators. Nebraska adults who are not otherwise banned from having guns would no longer have had to get a permit to carry a concealed weapon. Measures like this are sometimes called constitutional carry, in reference to some gun rights advocates' belief that the U.S. Constitution gives people the right to carry concealed guns without a permit. Currently in Nebraska, getting a concealed carry permit requires passing a criminal background check, paying a $100 fee, taking an 8 to 16 hour gun safety class. The measure would have allowed people to still get concealed carry permits, which Brewer said they may want to do to carry a gun across state lines or potentially expedite a background check for purchasing a gun. The bill initially also faced opposition from major law enforcement agencies in the state following a lengthy negotiation. The Omaha Police Officers Association and the Omaha Police Department both agreed to take a neutral position if lawmakers did adopt a compromise on the amendment. So again, although the bill was shot down in the filibuster, we can definitely expect this fight to continue, especially pending how the Nebraska gubernatorial race plays out with Illin Pillin and Pistol Pete still in the race. And again, they've not shied away from their urgency and their willingness to make Nebraska yet another gun state.
Yeah, I've been noticing a lot of guys walking around with T-shirts about liberty, and there's a whole lot of Proud Boy looking stuff going on in the city right now. Everywhere I go, I'm spotting groups of dudes jumping. I was in Benson yesterday, and groups of dudes jumping out of cars with these kinds of don't tread on me shirts and all kinds of stuff, like real bold, blatant, knowing they got a gun on them. You know what I'm saying? Like, they probably do. Yeah, we're definitely in a place that is permeated with that kind of culture, just like any other, really red state, or even more so. Like I said, my experience down south is a little different because because from what I understand, what I hear down south, they kind of walk around. You kind of know they have a gun on them, and they kind of walk around with it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the concealed thing is concerning.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
it's different. Like, and yeah, even down here in Georgia, again, you see a lot of guns, but you also know that they have the gun on them.
Right.
In Texas, I mean, people have it out, on the shoulder, across their chest, around their back. So it is different when you know that person has a firearm on them, and a lot of times a person openly carrying isn't going around trying to start stuff.
Yeah. Pop says his friend Curtis is now available to come to any state and any school to do the same thing that he's been doing for the schools in Texas for the last 30 years. If you like, I'll DM his number so that you guys can connect. By the way, Curtis is also one of the greatest singers you have ever heard, and he sings what he calls country soul. He is still a member of the Platters as well. All right.
Oh, okay.
We'll get Curtis on at the rodeo, and then
Yeah.
have him do some lecturing too on what he can do here for the schools. Interesting. That's what's up, Pops. Facebook user. Let me see what we got going on here. Looks like Vaughn Chapman says a conversation in a school assembly by the schools for the students would go a long way in addressing the student concerns. Interesting, they haven't had that. I kind of just assumed they probably had a Joe Clark style, lean on me style.
Like I said,
meeting in the auditorium where they talked about said
they
something.
needed to have one of those with some young mental health professionals to come and talk to them.
Yeah.
They need a conversation. That's first and foremost. Because they could possibly even, come up with a plan, get some of the high schoolers who are 18 to vote, write some letters, do some things.
Well, it sounds too much like right. I don't know.
I mean, it makes a little bit too much sense, don't it?
A little bit of too much sense, seems like. Ty Williams, this is a good morning with some sunshine. What's happening? Good morning to you. Brianna Full says, I've been saying OPS response to trauma that happens in the community is lackluster. That's why you over there.
Man, again, I don't want to put too much pressure on the sister, but I've not heard enough. I've not heard enough with everything that's been going on.
Yeah.
From Superintendent, Dr. Cheryl Logan.
Right. Brother Valentine said, yes, a conversation, not another presentation panel. Brother Black Dynamite says, the thing I don't understand is why are these folks so worried or so touchy about changing gun laws? Nobody wants to take your guns. People are just sick of the senseless killing.
That's something I didn't want to get into. This whole culture of fear that I think we kind of got into that a little earlier in the week. So culture of fear, and they aren't hiding it anymore. It's definitely coming, out of some of the ads and some of the things that we're hearing from the Grand Old Party, who's being now called out from email that they had in regards to Carol Blood, and this is from Nebraska Party Chair Jane Cleve in the tweet, talking about an email that was sent out by Republicans just hours after the Texas elementary school shooting, which attacked Carol Blood over her gun bill vote. It says their subject line was Carol Blood wants us defenseless. You mean like the kids and their teacher that was killed? Totally disgusting. Again, tweeted Jane Cleve. Blood called the email hateful and meant to generate fear, and said it was not an appropriate response to the killing of 19 children and 2 adults at a school in Uvalde, Texas. She went on to say, Mr. Illin Pillin, as we like to call him around here, who claims he will not participate in dirty campaigning, continues to show us with his silence he will only keep his head down and pretend that his silence does not make him complicit. The fundraising email, which was sent out by the Nebraska Republican Party, attacked Blood directly, who of course is running for governor as a senator from Bellevue, for being a deciding vote. Again, the filibuster for that gun law bill 773 fell 2 votes short, just 2 votes short of what they needed, and against a proposal to let again Nebraskans carry concealed weapons. The email said, if she is elected governor, she won't stop there. She's a typical leftist politician who values criminals over law-abiding citizens. Again, how does this stuff even make sense? Like, how?
What a stupid thing to say. What a stupid thing to even like say. Like, how does anybody believe? How can any? That's crazy, man. When you think about what that last statement you just said,
Yeah.
if she becomes governor, okay. So first of all, does anybody choose criminals over law-abiding citizens? I mean, politicized. Who just said that? Kimber Snipes says Lord wasted no time politicizing it.
Not at all.
Who's this over here? Von Chapman says students are expressing signs of PTSD for real.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what I was alluding to with the whole street life situation. Like a lot of these young people in the street are suffering from PTSD, and that's why they respond to situations that they respond to, because they get in conflict. Somebody said they're gonna kill them, and now they're fearing for their lives, and they're living in PTSD. That's what everybody's dealing with now.
And he's saying that nothing is being done by so-called responsible OPS administrators. Very interesting. Kimber Snipes says, just sick, worried about all the wrong, as my mama used to say. And these are the people that are possibly going to run the state. But if East Omaha got out that vote, we could shift all that.
All right.
Get the new blood out. Amy Huffler says, but that is the standard line they've been saying for years, NRA gun lobby. Yeah, it's kind of it's crazy. But I mean, like NRA, I don't know. It's just something that struck me as just ridiculous for you to say some mess like why would you? Who believes that? Who believes that even if they don't agree with Carol Blood, even if they don't agree with her politics, even if they're in a whole different party, who would believe that when somebody told them that she values criminals over law-abiding citizens? Like what?
Republican voters, the same people who believe the vote was stolen.
Cameron says, as stupid as that ridiculous as that statement was, how many people soaked it up in the state? Well, that's what I'm trying to find out, man. Like, I wish somebody would come and say some mess like that to me. Well, Carol Blood, she's on the side of criminals instead of what are you talking about? Stacey Jean says, I would truly believe gun laws rest in the hands of Black and brown people. If everyone Black and brown adult got a license to carry, gun laws would happen with a quickness.
Oh yeah, expeditiously.
Like Dave Chappelle said, everybody able-bodied Black person should go get a gun license. That's the only time they're gonna really change any laws.
And actually go to purchase one, not just get the license. Go to purchase one.
You see the laws change real fast, real quick.
Imagine if we showed up as a community to some of these gun shows that they be having. Just came up in buses.
I was wondering that the other day. I was like, can I go buy an AR-15? I wonder if I can walk up into a gun show and buy an AR-15 and nobody looking at me sideways.
You ain't got no felonies.
Oh, I bet you they'll be keeping track of who I am. I bet you there'll be some paper trail there. I bet you I'd have to have a permit for that. Lake Keezer says people believe it. Undereducated voters are dangerous. Yeah.
Yep.
Also, Ty Williams in the house says she has them running scared because they know she has a chance to beat him. I think that's very interesting that she was a deciding vote. And how important it is, how important she is. She just basically stopped the ability to walk around with no permit and just have a concealed carry. She just blocked that for us. So
I mean, how many nutcases got stopped?
How many people lives got saved by that vote? It seems like that would be reason enough to vote for her to be the one. In my book, Kimber Snipes says, "Look, I've been in several rural counties this year. There are different thought processes out here." Well, you guys are going. I'm still not convinced that anybody's that ridiculous that would like they got to be thinking, well, he probably is overstating it, but we get his point. At least they got to be saying something like that. I can't.
How do you get the point? What's the point with a statement like that? What is the point?
Brianna Full says, did you know Wayne and McKinney supported the permitless concealed carry bill? Their reasoning was because it stops the police from punishing Black and brown folks for carrying. Didn't know that.
I did not know that. I don't know, man.
That's an interesting reasoning on that one.
I feel like it would actually have a reverse effect.
It would have
if permitless carry is passed in the state, then I feel like they have even more reason to feel like everybody has a gun, which then causes them to treat everyone more aggressively.
More aggressive than they already do?
Yeah.
Well, next time we have him on, we'll have to ask him about that.
Definitely.
I kind of get what they're talking about a little bit with that, though. I kind of get like, because on some level, it seems like every black and brown person does need to have one. On some levels, on the level of when are they going to stop killing unarmed black people? What's that going to take? Because a lot of people think it's going to take firing back at them.
That's a slippery slope, man. That's not the direction we want to go. I'm trying to tell you, it's not the direction we want to go.
I don't believe that's the direction to go either. But I am saying that when you get to the point where you don't see it stopping, how much more can you take?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we that's why, the gun, talking about constitutional carry and talking about the Constitution. That's why well-regulated militias are a part of it. We do have the right to protect ourselves against tyrannical governments. That is a right, but we're talking about well-regulated militias. These permitless, that's not regulation. That's not well-regulated. No background checks. No testing or training.
It depends on who they think is going to do the regulation. Black Dynamite says, Paul, if you get an AR, you would pull up at home and there would be a black Crown Vic with tinted windows sitting outside. For real. They didn't call somebody already. If you just joining us, it's 8:02. If you believe in the concept of time, you're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Star Trek Rich. This is kind of the gun edition today. Because we're talking a lot about what's going on, not just here in our area about these gun laws and tragedies that are happening, but in the world right now. In the chat, Cameron Snipe says, I bet several people involved in the January 6th insurrection would believe it.
I'm telling you, man.
Pop says, yes, if black and brown people started buying guns in mass, the waiting period would go to 3 years. You would have to have a DNA test and a family history.
Yeah.
For real. Manny About Town is in the Friends of First Sky Omaha. What's happening, man? He says no guns in cities of the metropolitan class. That should be a bill. Keep them guns on the farm.
That's interesting. Actually, speaking of that, guns on the farm. Our neighbors over in Iowa, they're also making some moves when it comes to guns. Paul kind of alluded to this earlier this week, and it has now become law. It's now become a reality. Deer hunters will now be able to use semi-automatic AR-15 rifles during a newly created antlerless season in January under a bill approved by lawmakers Tuesday and sent to the governor for final approval. And the measure, given final approval by the House, is designed to help control the deer population and respond to complaints that excess deer eat corn and are hazardous to motorists on the streets. Republican Senator Ken Rosenboom of Oskaloosa says the purpose of this season is not to hunt for sport, but to manage the size of the herd, which is why more efficient and effective firearms are being authorized. Charles City Democratic Representative Todd Pritchard, who's actually a former active duty soldier and now lieutenant colonel for the U.S. Army Reserve, of course, opposed the bill, noting that the AR-15 type rifles allowed for hunting were similar to those he was trained to use in the military, and that ammunition authorized in the bill can travel up to 2.5 miles. 2.5 miles. So if you missed that deer, not really sure, no telling what you're going to hit. And how many people are trying to shoot deer from 2.5 miles. He said that about 200 hours of basic rifle marksmanship training to learn how to handle similar weapons and be certified for combat. So again, 200 hours of basic rifle marksmanship. And again, current permit laws only requires about 8 to 16 hours of training to get a permit. And now we're discussing even doing away with that. So very far from the 200 that people who are actually going into combat have to have.
Interesting. Black Dynamite says that was a cover up. They had to come up with a reason to have those ARs. I just thought it was a very interesting article that came up right after another mass shooting with a semi-automatic rifle. I saw a list of mass shootings next to a list of what kind of gun they use. It was AR-14s, AR-15s, or whatever they are, and there was like 30 or 40 mass shootings that happened this last year that involved that particular gun. So I think it's real interesting to that it's all in the news. Now you can go shoot deer because they be on the roads too much and eating up too much of your corn, and you can use these automatic rifles to do that. So now it's here's another thing that I need to mention before we move on. Next season 4 of First Sky Omaha is going to be talking a lot about financial literacy. And so now I'm paying attention to stuff like the stock for gun companies have gone up after the shooting. Because first of all, anytime there's a mass shooting, gun sales go up. Everybody's scared, want to go grab one. And the other half of people are scared that gun laws are going to be passed. And so they're going to go buy up all the AR-14s and stuff they can right now, just in case that gets shut down. That makes stocks go up. That makes these companies stronger and just keep on pushing this whole culture of guns in the first place. So it's I think it's real interesting that maybe this needs to be approached the way we approach a lot of other things. Follow the money. Withhold certain monies. Are you invested? Are you invested at all? Do you have a 401k? Do you have a mutual fund? Because some of those mutual funds and 401ks are investing in gun companies. And you don't know it. And you don't know it. You don't know it.
Those index investments.
Right. Some companies that you don't even think. Some the plastics companies and all kinds of other people. They're also making bullets, or they're making certain kinds of rifles. That stuff is happening all over the place, and they're just staying paid for a bunch of different reasons. So anyway, I like this idea here. There's a little back and forth that went here. Manny said something about no guns in metropolitan areas, and Kimmer Snipe says Manny ain't had somebody try to break in his house with him in 3 a.m. I still love you some Manny though. I called the police, took them more than 15 minutes.
Man.
Yeah. I see both sides of it, man. Like I feel the same way. New York was a big state that didn't let anybody have guns for a long time, bro. Because
I did hear that was a thing.
It's metropolitan area, and how are you going to have that many people in the area and everybody just is walking around toting the gun? That's just, they don't even got enough. They got nowhere near the law enforcement they would need to handle tens of millions of people in a city. And so the laws out there was you cannot have a concealed weapon. You can't have a carried weapon. You can't have a gun in the city. So it's valid. It's definitely valid. Also in the chat, Pops kind of is backing what I'm talking about right now. He says the governments of the world operate that way already. It's called mutually assured annihilation. If I got a gun, you got a gun. If they got guns and we got guns, the hope is nobody will use them. Maybe this is where Brother Senators Terrell McKinney and Justin Wayne, put some respect on their names, are coming with this idea. If we all have guns and you don't know who got them, keep yours in your pocket, man, because you don't know who got one. Does that sound a little safer than walking around without one in this world? It's up for debate.
Yeah, it's very debatable. I mean, I see where you're coming from, but that still gives out the sense that anything can happen at any moment.
Anything can happen at any moment. That's the point. The point is we don't have a sense of safety no more. We have a sense of anything can happen at any moment. Your kids can be at school right now getting shot up. Anything can happen at any moment. You can get pulled over and you might die. That's the point. Is at what point does it feel like there's no safety?
It's getting close. It's getting close.
You're saying that from your position. You're saying that from your vantage point. A lot of other people already are past the point of feeling like it's like there's no safety. And not to mention, man, we all humans. Let's throw fear in there. Let's talk about fear. Let's talk about
it's a real thing.
Real thing. Anyway, so yeah, I just want to kind of throw that out there. People in the chat are saying AR-15s should be automatic weapons should be banned. Who's in the chat? Von Chapman says, who goes hunting with AR-15s? Most AR-15s don't have hunting license. Got one now in Iowa. Kimmer Snipes says that, man, it's crazy out here. Just a lot to think about. Certainly it is.
Heavy on the mind.
Man, he fresh one says, yes, that part I agree with. If you're out without one, what are your options? If you're out here without a gun, your options is to get shot. So I decided, I talk about this a lot. I'm a pacifist. I decided not to have a gun. I'm not going to shoot nobody. So I'm just going to get shot.
And that's just a decision that you've accepted?
Yeah. Try my hardest not to, but I will get shot before I shoot somebody. So that means that I have to make sure that I'm in situations where I can be in the best safe situations I can, or I got to kind of look out and so on and so forth. I mean, there's a lot to that decision, but somebody got to stop with bringing the guns out.
Yeah.
If I got another one, then she said bear spray. Hey, don't bring bear spray to a gunfight, please. I'm just saying. But I hear what you're saying though. There's other ways to repel and get things, to get yourself out of a situation or whatever. But the point is, if I got one, then that's just more of a reason for somebody to get shot or somebody to steal it or somebody to go you know what I'm saying? Or kids grabbing on it and shooting themselves and all kinds of stuff that happens with it. And just the whole culture of shooting somebody back or shooting somebody first or just shooting somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot it's not just because I don't want to it's because I don't want to shoot nobody. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
no, that's
if I got a gun, I might shoot somebody.
That's why I haven't purchased a gun, because I definitely agree with you. I definitely feel like purchasing a gun is just just one step closer to actually having to shoot somebody. And
Black Dynamite is quoting John Witherspoon, says, it's best you win some, you lose some, but you live to fight another day. Man, folks out here so quick to pick up a gun instead of talking. Right. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, it's more for my protection. It's more for me to not go to jail, because I'd have been mad enough to shoot somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to regulate that kind of stuff too, man. You got to regulate your own mental health and your own limits, your own this and your own that. And first of all, it's also about the community I'm in. I'm not going to cause no harm to no black person, first of all. You know what I'm saying? If I'm getting threatened by somebody, some domestic terrorist or something like that, first of all, what can you even do? What can they do? We'll talk about it a little later on in the show, but these cops were standing around for almost an hour outside trying to figure out what to do and get backup and everything else.
Yeah. And also kind of what someone alluded to with, Brother Terrell McKinney and Justin Wayne, why they have their stance on gun control and gun policy because of police brutality and police reform. And we're just talking about the average Joe, but how do you defend yourself against the police? Who polices the police? That's a whole nother fold, to the situation. not only are the citizens, at odds, but police brutality is a rampant thing. And police is busting in the no-knock warrants, busting in people's house, shooting them.
Man, come on, bro.
Everywhere you turn, this gun culture is seeping everywhere.
Yeah. So, and sometimes you think, are we just hearing about it, or is it actually happening more and more? No, it's happening more and more. It's not just question. Getting reported more and more. It's happening more and more. Somebody just got shot down the street in Benson last night. Yep. 8:15 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, thanks for everybody that is joining in on this chat and talking about such serious things, and really kind of talking it out and coming to some ideas about some things, and hopefully it's something that helps. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back and jump into a couple other things before we get going. Yeah, 65th and Ames. 65th and Ames. Somebody got shot. We'll take a quick break and come back. We'll have an extensive HAPS a little later on, so get your HAPS together. It is Friday. We want to talk about what's going on for the weekend, so we'll take a little bit more time for the HAPS a little later. So stay tuned. We'll be right back and jump into the chat. Thanks for listening. This is First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Star Trek Rich. We'll be right back, y'all. Welcome back. Good morning. What's happening, y'all? Thanks for tuning in. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Star Trek Rich. It's going down. Chrissy Norris says, hit him with some wasp spray in the eyes. Well, I hate to run up on y'all, boy. We get sprayed down. She said, it shoots a long way and they'll drop quick. Okay.
All right.
There you go.
In the eyes. Yeah.
Oh, man. We're this is kind of the gun episode here. We're kind of talking a lot about what's going on here. I got some people in the chat that are chiming up as well. Looks like Vaughn Chapman says, are we going to talk about the reckoning meeting held last evening? Yes. I definitely want to get to that. Wanted to hear your thoughts on that. I tuned in via the live stream thanks to Keatron Cycle over at Noise.
Hey.
And we were able to see what went on. And Justin Wayne was out there. There was some heavy hitters out there, man. I saw Matt Wynn out there chilling and chiming in. Jakeem Fox was there. DeJuan spoke up a lot. A lot of people spoke up, and there was a lot of things that was talked about. The thing that stood out with me, $450 million is the amount of money that they were able to get. They did get Brother Terrell McKinney and Justin Wayne did get that amount of money. They don't get it all at once. It's coming in certain sections, and I guess this first section was the reason why they talked about the $2 million that they're getting for Northside, 1 point something. And so the discussion is, what is it that we're going to do with that money? How is that going to work? We got a couple of things that came out of that meeting that we wanted to definitely stress here, but we also want to ask you, the people that were there, and also that checked it out on the live stream. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on the panel yesterday? What was said yesterday? What stood out to you? Let us know in the chat. We'll definitely talk about that. In the meantime, Buddy, you want to talk a little bit about what was some of the things that was brought out there?
Yeah. Actually, Justin Wayne, who was in attendance, of course, had a call to action for the people in regards to this Omaha Charter convention. That big shout out to Miss Keatron Zykel. She brought this to our attention just Monday, as far as this series of community forums and charter meetings that will happen as Omaha, the city of Omaha, plans to update and change their basically the city's constitution. And again, Justin Wayne is encouraging people at the town hall to ask the Omaha Charter to amend to include an affordable housing amendment. Yeah, he says, please encourage citizens to attend the charter convention meetings at City Hall. The next meeting will be on June 2nd. I believe that's next Thursday. So next Thursday, there will be another City Hall meeting in regards to the city charter, and Noise has all the dates for the charter convention on their calendar as well. So you can go to noiseomaha.com for more information on that. Again, as Keatron explained to us, the doors will be locked at 5 p.m., but there is an intercom on the far right of the revolving door that you can ring to tell a person that you are looking to attend the charter convention, and they will buzz you in. So don't let that deter you if you are able to make it down there. And again, the charter is the city's constitution, which was approved back in 1956. And this is I believe, I'm not sure how often they update it, but it's back around. It is time for that update to take place again. So definitely let's make sure we're part of that conversation and at least get some type of affordable housing amendment on the books, some real actual affordable housing language on the books in black and white.
It's funny, you gotta get buzzed in. I guess they don't want no active shooters up in the building when they're doing their stuff over there and protect themselves. Omaha Valentine said, cannot forget Gwen Easter speaking out and speaking to the panel. Yeah, man, she kind of shut down brother a couple of people that were trying to get her to, okay, let's move on to somebody. Nah, I'm gonna keep talking. Yeah, she had a lot to say, and we've talked to her outside of, me and you had a conversation with her outside of Black Coffee that morning.
Yeah,
and she's very passionate about what's going on in the neighborhood there. So I'm glad she got a chance to speak there. In the chat, real quick, Von Chapman gives us a little summary. Says the North Omaha Reckoning meeting was an example of what happens when the last series of meetings didn't end with a well-defined plan or a cogent strategy moving forward. The panel discussion didn't end with a solution for any of the items advertised on the agenda, nor a way forward, but dissolved into utter frustration and not so organized chaos. It was punctuated by the moderator in yet another pulpit moment saying, "We need to do this again?" Question marks. Many who had participated in many of the previous meetings had a reasonable expectation of a planned strategy that would have emanated from the previous meetings. When that didn't happen, their frustrations became obvious, as did mine. We need to do better if we want to get further. Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is not only insane but counterproductive. Shout out to Keatron Zykel from Noise for her patience in navigating through the meeting and getting our Facebook online questions asked and answered.
Man,
that's what's up. Moving along to Manny Bowtown says takeaways. The Recovery Act funds are intended to help grow Black business, so it's time to get your business in line. Funds are being made available to support the development of a range of housing, which will help maintain and increase affordable housing. Also, we will still need anti-displacement policies. The Omaha City Charter and the next legislative session are our best opportunities to get something on the books. That's a good summary there. The takeaways. Both of you guys had some great summaries there. It's exactly how it went down. If you get a good sense of what the meeting was like, if you missed it, those last two summaries, exactly what I would say you should pay attention to. So I like the idea. I definitely got excited about the idea that if there are, especially contracting companies that can build stuff, they're ready to get to the next level. They can. There were some resources and things that they put out there that they said this will help you get where you need to get to. You can have, you get your business up to par, be able to hire 3 or 4 people by next year. There's some benchmarks that needs to happen there, and if you can get there, if you can get the help to get there, there's some money behind. There might be some money behind you being able to get to the next level. and that's what this money is supposed to be there for. So, yeah, interesting stuff there. Christy North says every 10 years they change, they update the charter.
Yeah.
I remember Keatron saying that too. This is every 10 years, and so this you got to do it now. We got to go now and do this, or else it won't be changed for another 10 years. So, so let's definitely reiterate what we're talking about here as far as the charter is concerned. Speak up as citizens and ask them to put affordable housing as an amendment on this charter, so that we see. Yeah, and what, Buddy, from your understanding, what will that do if the affordable housing subject gets amended onto this charter? What will that help?
To my understanding, because we keep asking the question, how do you define affordable housing? I think by putting that on the books, that because it kind of seems like the definition of affordable housing is, it's a buzzword. It's kind of up in the air. It's defined as 3 times the 3 times your income, but seems like there's no real regulation. There's no real cap to that. There's no real way to keep it, really within bounds. And I feel like putting some type of amendment in the city on the in the city constitution and the city charter will help to aid towards that direction. If you're trying to develop something and call it affordable housing within the limits of the city, I would assume that it will fall under this amendment.
Okay. Maybe we'll have Keatron on next Monday and have her talk a little bit more about this, so we can make sure that we get fully, get the full information on what we need to do and why. Kimmer Snipes says same day as the Sona banquet, zero communication. I find that happening a lot in our city. Not a lot of communication when it comes to events. People just pick a date and go for it instead of checking in with everybody else on what else is going on. So that we can try to make it all. Brianna Full says, I was there, but I didn't get to ask my question about if the senators are opposed to giving OPS some of those funds in LB 1024 to offset the workforce development program OPS does. So maybe they could use that money to pay the staff a living wage instead. That's a very, very good question. I hope that you do get to ask that to someone, because I think that's something that might really help. And even this mass exodus of teachers.
Right.
It'll help. Man, he fresh one in the YouTube channel. Nobody's really able to see that if you're on YouTube, so I appreciate you commenting over there. He's talking about the reasons why the legal reasons why you can shoot somebody. He said he found it: protect yourself against death, serious bodily injury, kidnapping, rape, or forcible sodomy. So those are
not just yourself. I believe women and small children as
protect them from that, right?
Yeah. Especially children.
Legal reasons to shoot somebody. That's interesting that there's only a few legal reasons to shoot somebody, but people seem to be getting shot all the time for other reasons and getting by. What's the legal reasons for the cops to shoot you? I'd like to see that list.
That part.
Brother Omar Valentine says, but who is helping businesses get ready? Because this is a big thing. If you're a small company, maybe you do drywall, maybe you do painting, maybe you do something as far as construction. You need to try to get your business to the next level, get bonded, get insured, get your LLC right, whatever needs to happen. Ask for, get some corporate corporate what do you call it? Corporate credit, something that you can hire some people and expand your business in order to take on some of these bigger jobs. Who's helping everybody do that? During this, after the meeting, somebody told Keatron to go and talk to Willie Hamilton. So she went over to talk to him. He says, you can hit him up over at Black Men United, and he also dropped some other names of some people that might be able to help with some of the business plans and paperwork and so on and so forth. I dropped in the chat. Julian Young might be somebody to go talk to for some business support. There's probably some other resources out there. They're not read. We don't talk about them enough. So if anybody else has any ideas about resources on how to get your business to the next level so that you can qualify for some of these funds coming, that would probably be helpful. Need to figure that out. Brother Valentine says North Omaha organizations, programs, services need to treat this opportunity like something of importance. Where are the workshops, consultation sessions, financial assistance to file paperwork, etc.? Yeah,
all of that. Again, I mentioned the incubator space, and not just for businesses, but for individuals who are looking to find a career path. Um, just some kind of central hub where all that can happen in the community. Anyone interested in starting a business can come get this information. And we should definitely get, like, again, the sister from St. Louis with that's now leading the Omaha City, the Chamber of Commerce. Definitely get them involved in some kind of programming facility in North Omaha, specifically for North Omaha residents to again get into business. And I actually would like to kind of also see people team up with some of the business owners on the south side, because those businesses have thrived and existed for years and years and generations in some instances. And just like what we learned from the Abelardo's conversation, I'm sure we can learn a lot from those business owners in South Omaha, from how they handle business, period, to how they navigate as minorities in Nebraska.
Right. I learned a lot from Abelardo's for sure.
Man.
Wanda Lewis says Winsley Durand is the name. Also, okay. Christy North says Nika Johnson.
Yeah, Nika Johnson is dope. She definitely does a lot of work. Kind of grew up with her. Definitely see her active in the community.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, I was talking to the lady who does my taxes, and she also does business services too. So she's helping us out right now with that, because we all need it too, man. Everybody needs it. Everybody needs it in order to scale, get to the next level, act right with the money you have, so on and so forth. You need that accountant. You need to be able to hire an accountant. You need to be able to hire, at least a bookkeeper. Lots of stuff that
that kind of makes me. Kind of makes me think, because you had mentioned earlier about our intention this season is space is the place, and we're talking about how we can survive and thrive and exist in certain spaces and improve the spaces that we already exist in. And that's kind of why a lot of our conversation surrounds LB 1024, and pretty soon we'll be getting into this RFP that's still open, so definitely keep tuned in for that. But next season we're looking at financial literacy, and I definitely think that we should have some of these people come on and talk more about business tips and tricks and things like that, because that's just another way of how we can survive and thrive in spaces.
There you go. Speaking of which, Nika Johnson just hopped on. She says, "How can I contribute to the discussion?" Your name just came up. We're talking about what we can do to, what kind of resources are out there to help people get to the next level with their business. And they threw your name out there saying that you had some things there. So maybe you can put your information in the chat for anybody that might need that. In order to, we're kind of looking for resources right now, and maybe even like give us a little couple sentences about what it is you do, and how that can how we can partner with you and try to get some things done.
I actually love to have you on.
Yeah, have you on too. Exactly. The topic of the conversation right now has to do with businesses that need to get to the next level so that they can receive some of these ARPA funds that Senators Terrell McKinney and Justin Wayne, put some respect on their names, got. They acquired $400 million for North and South Omaha. So they're going for it. They went for it. They got it. And now it's a matter of doling those things out. Some of the things that need to happen for what we want to call affordable housing or just housing in general, those things that need to happen are going to happen in the form of developers, construction companies, building building homes, building houses, and so on and so forth. There's an influx of money that's going to come to businesses that are able to do this kind of work, but they have to qualify.
Yep.
They have to qualify. Yep. Matter of fact, they have to apply for something as well too. Didn't we have that on the?
Yeah, I got the link. I was just going to hop into that and just kind of waiting on you to finish up. Didn't want to cut you off.
Yeah,
no, you good. You good, man. But we've spoken to Senator Tony Vargas. We've spoken to Senator Terrell McKinney, and they both mentioned that nothing is really going to happen until this whole RFP process is completed. And the RFP process is a request for proposal for agency processed services, which is due June 14th, and this is again that window, issuing the request for proposal in order to obtain proposals from qualified contractors who will be responsible for conducting a comprehensive study at a competitive and reasonable cost, as provided in LB 1024, which was passed by the Nebraska legislature on April 12th. So Again, they are fielding offers and ideas, and again looking for contractors to conduct studies. And this is due again by June 14th. A request for proposal. There is some documents. We'll maybe post a link in the chat if possible. But at the current stage is again a response to written questions. From there, it'll be a Q&A round. List of respondents will be released, and then following that will be oral presentations and demonstrations, and then from there, best and final offer. And there's several other steps following that. So it is quite a lengthy process, but that process is ongoing, and it is open as far as the request for proposals. We do have again June 14th, which is just about 3 weeks, from now. So again, it's a window. It's kind of a short window. That'll go quickly, but the window is there.
Yeah. I like the way that Nika Johnson is talking in the chat right now. She
All
says,
right.
It's time to get our finances in order. You got that right. Own some real estate, fix your credit, leverage your credit, build business credit.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
She says she has an upcoming. I have an upcoming webinar teaching all my secrets, how I build my portfolio. Next month we'll have 1 million in real estate. There you go. She says we need to properly register our businesses, build business plans, contact NBDC for help for free, save money, fix your credit, and use other people's money for fundraising. I do like the OPM.
Yeah,
other
man.
people money. Funding, loans, LOC, and grants. That's what's up. She put her email address in there, support at budget2success.net. Local, this is, you say you grew up with her, huh?
Yeah. Nika, what's up? So, please don't make this the last time you're checking us out and on the show, and we'll definitely be emailing you to have you come on and talk, especially as we get ready for next season, because that's what it's about, man. We gotta get our some business things in order on our front. So if we can all do it together, that'll be a beautiful thing.
Look for us in July. That season 4 is definitely going to be about financial literacy, and that's when it's going to start in July. So you might even have to be a reoccurring guest on the show, talking like you're talking right now. So that's what's up.
Man. Again, Northside got the money. Now we need to figure out what to do with it.
There you go. That's what's happening, man. 8:37 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, you got somewhere to be at 9 o'clock. We got a few more minutes. We'll take a quick break and come back, and then we're getting close to the haps. We're having extensive haps today, so get your haps ready. Yep. We want to talk about what's happening this weekend and what you want to get into, and so on and so forth. We'll be back. As a matter of fact, wait a minute. I think there was a comment up here that I didn't want to pass by. Let me see if I can find it again real quick.
Let's also not forget the Trekkie words of wisdom. I see we got a Spock quote back there.
Yeah, man, we got Spock on deck. Let's see. It looks like Vaughn Chapman says the experience offered by white construction companies currently doing construction projects in the community via OJT on-the-job training would be where these from the community could get valuable experience. Very true. As a matter of fact, I remember that Kiewit was offering some trainings that would for companies, for smaller companies, that would allow them to, if they went through their training and got their certificate, then that would be good for all kinds of places in the city for them to be able to do work. This came up when they were building the new buildings over at Metro. They reached out to Black and brown communities to do that, but they had a very strict situation there that it was really hard for small businesses to reach. There still need to be somebody in between there to really kind of help them get to the next level, get bonded, and so on and so forth. So I'm kind of excited about. I see the logic behind throwing the money to the businesses that can do those kinds of work and build business, because you can take that money and just build houses, but who can live in them houses? Who can afford to live in the houses that are built?
Right.
You also have to raise up the economic level of the area as well. So lots more to talk about on that. We will, but let's take a quick break and come back. Again, you're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Star Trek Rich.
Hey.
All of you. We'll be right back, y'all. Yeah, man. First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
Thought I was gonna hear Sean Paul on that first track. I was expecting Sean Paul to come out of,
Hey, that was about the time frame we made that too. You know? You got to hear Brooke, Miss Natty Youth on that. You got to hear her on that.
Hey, just give me the light.
She was sounding right near the beach when we did that track right there. Yeah, Pops, he says, "Oh yeah, Miss Natty Youth with a twist." I like it,
man.
Hey, welcome back. Thank you for joining us once again. We are at Weberized Studios. At least I am at Weberized Studios. The Buddy is over there at Life is God Studios in Atlanta. And I'm here in Omaha, Nebraska at Weberized Studios. And they do what we call the Trekkie Words of Wisdom around here, the Starfleet Daily Meditation. Today's Starfleet Daily Meditation is from Spock. Everybody knows who Spock is. Pointy-eared, green-blooded sucker. Says, You may find that having is not so pleasing a thing. Say what? You may find that having is not so pleasing a thing as wanting. This is not logical, but it is often true.
Yeah, man.
Having is not so pleasing of a thing as wanting. That is really interesting.
Yeah, man. That's why I call it the Trekkie Words of Wisdom, man. That's some true gems.
Wow. You may find that having is not so pleasing as a thing as wanting. This is not logical, but is often true. My man Spock.
Yeah.
That's cold. That's cold. That's interesting.
It's all about the philosophy of, accepting and living in the moment and being content. J. Cole said it the best. Love yours, man. Love yours. Always looking at the next situation, always wanting something. It always leads to wanting more. It's an unquenchable thirst.
That's interesting. Yeah. It's kind of, it Pop says it's now that's deep. Thank you, Star Trek Rich. Yeah, it is. It is pretty deep. It is pretty deep. When you think about how, what that really is, because you keep on going for something, you can have it, and then you find that you're not as satisfied with it now that you have it. The thrill is gone.
Well, yeah, because you got to understand that the mentality of wanting comes from a sense of lacking. So if you're not, if you're not just fulfilled within yourself and constantly looking outside of self to fulfill that sense of lacking, you're always going to feel lacking. Like it's nothing outside of self is going to fill that hole.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. Thanks for everybody that's joining us, coming on back in. Let's see. Von Chapman says the term affordable only exists amongst those who don't have or who can't make a living wage. Talking about affordable loans. Wanda Lewis says definitely not any PPP loans involved. It's not a handout. Some people are getting confused. You have to go have something to bring to the table, such as experiments, equipment, and a team. Somebody said that in the chat a little earlier too. I think it might have been Wanda Lewis. When you're a business and you're trying to get your business to the next level to be able to apply for some of these dollars, you also have to have experience with that business, not just scalability and all your ducks in a row and being bonded and so on and so forth.
Oh, yeah. The people loaning out the funds want to know that you can survive in that field and you're competent in that space. Right. So they know that they can get their money back. Ain't gonna pay back them loans.
This is true. I'm not sure what Facebook user this is that said that, but it's just like planning vacations are often more fun than the vacation.
She left you a tag. You don't know who that is, Miss E. She left
that's Miss E. Okay. I'm sorry about that.
Tag, man. Come on.
I forgot that's her tag right there. Not for me, Miss E. My vacation is always more fun than planning it out. I can't stand planning vacations. As a matter of fact, I'd be so sick of calling the hotel company and the airline company, and can I just be there? Can you just beam me over to the spot, please?
Just take me right near the beach.
Just drop me off right near the beach. 7:45 right now. If you're believing the concept of time, we come to the point where maybe we can do a little lightning round about some of the things we were going to talk about.
Yeah, man.
So we can get to the haps here pretty soon. Appreciate you. We got some more. Wait a minute, we got some more in the chat here. Who's talking? Who's talking? Keatron Zykel's in the chat. How you doing? Good morning.
Hey.
Thanks for your coverage yesterday. She says Maxwell Morgan, business owner, Cush Consolidated, nominated by council member Juanita Johnson.
Okay.
Some more resources there. Wanda Lewis says the only thing being offered is opportunity to participate in development. I mean, I feel like it'll solve a bunch of problems. It'll raise up the level of business. It'll raise up the wages. So it'll also help build and develop in the area. And then when those houses are built and developed, people can afford to. There's people in the area that can afford to live there.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of explained it now. It's not something that hasn't been done, or it's not a will that hasn't been created already, if you will. I mean, this is a proven thing that you see happening here in Atlanta. Again, going back to Mayor Jackson, who again put in place for minority contractors to get a part of the expansion of the Hartsfield-Jackson Airport, and that, you know, other government contracts to go to a percentage of minorities, which created a financial pool. And then, you know, the community started to shop with each other, and it was just kind of you had energy in the community to pass around and create momentum, which led to now a pretty sustainable and healthy economic base for that community. So it's a viable start to something real. Just got to take advantage and have people in place ready to move.
There you go. In the chat, also, Brooks said, let's see. Oh, they're talking about vacation still. Last day of vacation is my straight garbage. Miss E said, Brooks says, all my worst vacations were in Florida. Definitely more fun planning it than actually going. And this has not been my experience. There's another Facebook user saying, and if you lie about it on PPP loans, you're going to jail. They are coming after
been hearing
people.
about that.
They've been coming after people, bro, like in a big way. Let's see. Also, there's a big long list of names here. Yeah, people that are these people that you're saying are in charge. Well, are these resources that people can reach out to and use? What was the list of names for? Let us know. So yeah, anyway, this is pretty interesting stuff. I'm sure that we'll continue some more of the conversation about that particular meeting. It was a pretty extensive meeting, and like I said, you gave us some really good summaries of what happened there and some takeaways. The takeaways that Manny About Town dropped are things that I think we can continue to talk about, take action on, help each other with, and so on and so forth. So that's the kind of direction I want to go there. Some solutions.
Okay, so this is the list of charter convention members.
Oh, got it. Okay, cool. Charter convention members. Yeah, they said that too. They said develop a relationship. It's probably a good idea to develop a relationship with some of the members as well. And you know, you guys be able to talk about. I see some names in there. I know Pete Festerson. Yeah, there's some folks in here that are all about having a conversation and trying to figure out what the needs are, what people want. So it might behoove everybody to, go seek out some people there and have some conversations.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that list.
That's, that yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Again, next Thursday, is the charter meeting. So I believe it starts at 5. Remember, you got to buzz in. But on that note, just about a few minutes, let's go ahead and dive into this lightning round really quickly. And we kind of talked about LB 24 or 1024, but there's some good news coming out about our Native brothers and sisters. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development recently awarded $147 million to tribal communities this year. The annual funds go toward the annual funds go toward block grants, and 83 will support affordable housing and community development projects, with 95 million going to 24 different communities through the Indian Housing Block Grant Competitive Program, with another 52 million awarded to another 59 different communities through the Indian Community Development Grant. So a big shout out to HUD for this, and big shout out to our Native brothers and sisters for this win. Heidi Frechette, who's the Menominee in Brothertown, she says, she's the Deputy Assistant Secretary for the Office of Native American Programs. She says, we're very excited to make this announcement. We're always excited and encouraged to see investment in Indian country, especially because there's such great need. Some tribes are able to develop community facilities, carry out public work projects, and provide economic development assistance. So much needed stimulation into those communities. So definitely good news. Definitely a win.
Yep.
Now again, I think we had this in the lightning round on Wednesday, but again, the Biden has responded to the failure and the failure of the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act, and has issued an executive order requiring new use of force rules for federal law enforcement agencies, i.e. the FBI, Customs, Border Protection, ICE, what have you. They will have to revise their use of force policies. And according to administration officials, the new federal minimum standard will allow force only when reasonably effective, safe, and feasible alternative appears to exist. And then also there will be the creation of a national database of officers fired for misconduct. So those are some things that should aid in slowing down some of the police brutality around the country. And
I've been hearing a little bit about it. People are feeling like it's not enough. It's not exactly the George Floyd bill. It's
right.
It's less than that. But in a little bit helps, I guess.
And again, this is not something that's being applied to local police departments. This is on the federal level. So definitely keep that in mind. And then, of course, some more details surrounding the Uvalde, Texas, the incident and the inability or inaction of police in that instance. I actually saw some reports on social media of people saying that the police, there were some officers who ran in there to get their children only. Like, yeah, I've seen something where there were some officers who apparently had some children of their own in the school, and they ran in there to get the kids, but like didn't allow other parents to go get their kids.
Wow.
And yeah. I'm just hearing more and more about this and the whole situation.
That one's unconfirmed, but what is confirmed right now is the fact that they had called for backup and waited, and the gunman was inside the classroom for like 45-50 minutes before anything happened, and that the fatal shot came from a Border Patrol officer.
Yeah. Actually, there's an Associated Press report that also details an instance where parents were so outraged that the police were being inactive that they themselves were starting to kind of collect, people who are willing and ready to storm the school because the police wouldn't, which, Lord forbid what kind of situation that would have caused. But yeah, very, very tragic situation, and unfortunately more and more details are rolling out surrounding it. But that does the lightning round.
Yeah. Well, right on. Thanks for sitting through the lightning round with us there. We definitely, if anything is piquing your interest there, we can definitely talk about that Monday and get back to it. So really appreciate everybody that's checking us out there. In the meantime, between time, it's 8:53 right now. If you believe in the concept of time for the haps.
What's
the haps? What's happening? What's going down?
Ladies and gentlemen, time for the haps. That's time for that's time for us to talk to you about some things that's going on that's coming up this weekend and beyond, and time for you to let us know about some things that we need to be big enough on the show and talking about as well. Buddy, got some haps for the peoples?
Oh yeah. Coming up next week, y'all, right around the corner, the upper room.
Where'd you ease
it? Big shout out to the ladies, the talented, the beautiful, intelligent Miss Bofield Berry, and also Denise Chapman joining forces for this play in the upper room. Again, written by the talented playwright Bofield Berry and directed by the very talented Miss Denise Chapman.
That's a powerhouse duo right there.
Bro. Oh yeah. Women.
I've been delivered.
Yeah, go ahead and get delivered. This is going down from June 1st to the 3rd at 7:30. Masks will be required. This will be a co-production in partnership with Creighton University, Fine and Performing Arts, and the Union for Contemporary Art. Performances will be housed at Creighton's Lead Education Center for the Arts. That's 2500 California Plaza. Again, 2500 California Plaza, right on Creighton's campus. So definitely show up and show out and show support for these talented ladies.
That's what's up.
Also, if you still got the play bug, Shakespeare is coming to the area. Shakespeare is coming to Omaha, and one of the north side. Yeah, man, and one of the north side's own will be in attendance. Mr. John Beasley will be doing his thing. You actually get to meet the cast. Again, The Tempest by Shakespeare will be showing during the Shakespeare on the Green. This will be at Elmwood Park from June 23rd to the 26th. There will also be some dates throughout July. Tickets are free, so all you have to do is bring a blanket and a chair and a positive attitude, and be ready to see some good acting, some great acting, might I say, if again the legendary John Beasley will be there. I believe he'll be playing Prospero.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
that's what's happening, man. The guru's in town. He'll also be hanging around the Benson Theater for a thing too. So stay tuned for that. We got some special announcements coming up when it comes to Mr. Beasley and the Benson Theater. So stay tuned for that for sure.
Man. Actually, speaking of the Benson Theater, y'all got some things coming up, some tickets for sale.
Man, tickets is going fast, bro. Martin Family Trio is jumping off right now. It is going down, presented by the Benson Theater, presented by Douglas County as well. Douglas County Visitors Fund is helping this show come to fruition, bringing Terrace Martin into town. Terrace Martin, man, that's just he's right off. He's playing with Robert Glasper and them right now. He's doing big things, and he's going to come and play with his legendary drummer of a father, Curly Martin. And they're bringing a special guest. It's going down one night only. June 5th, it's happening. You got to go get your tickets. Go to bensontheater.org and get that happening because it's really going down. They're going fast. There's only like 160 spots at the Benson Theater, man. So it's going to be a very good, intimate show. Definitely check them out. Martin Family Trio happening June 5th, 2022, 7 o'clock. Doors open. Get your tickets now. Also, what's coming up? The reunion of Verbal Gumbo, man. With Love Felicia will be don't call it a comeback. With Love Felicia will be in town, and she will be co-hosting with Michelle Troxclair, just like the old days over when we were at the House of Loom doing this. Verbal Gumbo, the reunion is going to be happening at the Benson Theater Thursday, June 16th. It's another one that's going to sell out. Tickets going fast. Go to bensontheater.org and get your tickets for that as well. June 16th, Thursday night, 7 o'clock. Come on through.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Also going down this weekend, if you're looking for some fresh produce, please remember that the weather is, turning up and the farmers markets are all opening. Exarban Village on Sundays and I believe Old Market on Saturdays. So get out there, support our local farmers because, they've been impacted by the pandemic and struggling as well. So let's help each other, move on up. Again, Saturday's marketplace takes place from 8 to 12:30 along 11th and Jackson Street, right in the heart of the Old Market. And then also Sundays from 9 to 1 p.m. right on 67th and Mercy Road. I do believe that is in Exarban Village. So go ahead and, show up, show out, support, get you some fresh produce.
Another thing to support, definitely just do the 5th annual prayer walk and vigil for Zachary Bear Hills. It's going down on June the 5th as well, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. We're going to walk the path that he walked when he was murdered by police. Justice for Zachary Bear Hills. It's still something that we are paying close attention to. And this will be 5 years already, 5th annual prayer walk and vigil. So join us there, and it starts at the Greyhound Station. 1601 Jackson Street, Omaha. We start the work there, and man, the walk is going down. Justice for Zachary Bear Hills. Please show up. We'll definitely support that as well. And one more before we get out of here. Steampunk Tea Party is happening June 18th. Our partners at the House of Afro Capes and Curls are presenting the Steampunk Tea Party. Get your costumes ready. She gave me a call. She was like, "You coming, right?" And I was like, "I don't really do costumes." And she said, "Well, all you got to really do is, button down shirt. You got a vest. Maybe we got some goggles for you. We'll have a few things to get your steampunk on." So they always do good work. They don't just throw parties where people got to dress up. They actually take you through some of the steps, help you make your costume, send you some resources on getting it together so we can go and dress up and have a good time. So that's what's going on, man. House of Afro Capes and Curls gets down. Love them. More things happening, but we're going to get out of here. It's about 9 o'clock right now. One more announcement. Zane says hi, and then he has pulled his front tooth.
Okay.
That's what's happening. So
he's a growing boy.
He is a growing man. Brooke says, "Yay, Zane's getting your grown man teeth soon." That's what's happening.
Yeah, my little man just lost his first tooth.
There you go. There you go. Did you do the $20 underneath the pillow?
$20. $20. What? No. $1 per tooth.
Hey, that's what you used to get back in the day. You got to account for inflation.
No. He wouldn't know what to do with those $20.
Right. See, I remember that when I be like, I need some gas money. It can't be $5 no more. It got to be 20 now.
Yeah. Hey, and that still ain't gonna get you nowhere. These gas prices.
Get you to the next gas station.
Right.
All right, we're gonna get out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Buddy, you got some words for the people?
Oh man, as always, we appreciate love and thank everyone who participated and just sat back and enjoyed the show as you go through your morning, man. All the chat chimers, all the first time listeners, last time listeners, ghost listeners, man. We appreciate you all, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We're gonna keep this thing going. We are getting close to the conclusion of season 3. Man, season 3, man. I just can't even believe we're this deep in the game, but it has been quite the journey, and we're definitely enjoying it as we hope all of you are as well. So again, season 4 coming up. We'll be taking a quick, hiatus, a quick break to kind of smell the roses, smell the coffee, get ourselves back in order, take a break and get back to it. But we appreciate the support. Please tell a friend to tell a friend. Always looking for ways to improve and grow. So if you have any ideas, anything you'd like to see from us, feel free to let us know. Make sure you check us out on YouTube. Click that subscribe button. Click that notification bell. And without further ado, Paul B. Take it away.
Right on. Pop says, man, I love this show. Thanks for another awesome experience. Have a great weekend. Will there be a show on Monday, Memorial Day? Are we coming in Memorial Day? Yeah.
Actually, any plans?
For Memorial Day? No.
Yeah.
No, man. I'll be working. You know what it is. Leia Keisha says, solid week of shows. Thank you. Mira Sanchez says, have a blessed weekend, everyone. Black Dynamite said, good Lord, Paul, $20. Y'all quit being cheap. Y'all quit being so cheap with your children now.
What?
Happy Meal's $13.75 these days. You better quit being cheap with you. Don't be cheap with you. Look, Brooks, y'all better shut your mouth.
Yeah, you gonna have Brooke in trouble. Little man, I'm like, you heard him. You heard Uncle Paul.
Star Trek Rich said, pretty soon kids gonna expect a Berkshire stock under their pillow.
I need them tooth fairy NFTs.
How many Bitcoin I get for this front tooth?
Right.
Oh man, none, because Bitcoin's going down. We'll talk about that later. Facebook user says, Brooke, now you have to be sure to keep small bills in the house, or you'll be giving them $20 for a can of soup or something from the you ain't getting this $20, but here's some
Campbell's, some chunky.
KDO says, have a fantastic and joyous weekend. Thank you for an incredible show as always. Thank you. And we can't have an incredible show without you guys. So thank you very much for chiming into the chat, all the chat chimers, all the ghost listeners, and everybody else. Thanks for sharing the show too. I forgot to ask people to do that today, but thank you for the ones that shared the show. We want to get as many people talking about that. So thank you very much. Brooke says, great show. Thank you very much. Pretty happy that you guys are here and that we can keep doing this. Want to give thanks to the Omaha tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. Thanks to our elders for allowing us to speak before them. Thanks to Star Trek Rich, who is always putting up with our stuff, man, around here and holding the tech down at Weberized Studios. Go to Weberized.com if you have podcast ideas. Also, shout out to Buddy over there at Life is God Studios. Shout out to the fam that's always upstairs trying to be quiet while Daddy Dude's doing his thing. Appreciate y'all and appreciate everybody who's in the chat chiming up. Can't have this conversation without you, and everybody who is a reoccurring member of the channel as well. Thank you so much for us to the donations so that we can keep this thing going. We got people at $10, $20, $25, $50 that are donating to us regularly each month, straight out of their accounts, and we really, really appreciate it. If you have a desire to help us keep this going as well, please go to firstsky.omaha.com, hit the donate button, and become a reoccurring member of the channel as well. And also, there's also people that are doing just some one-offs here and there. They come in and drop a couple $100 on us and stuff like that. I really want to shout out to them. We definitely have some perks and some things coming up for our members, so stay tuned for that in next season as well. So lots to come. and lots of good things ahead, and we'll share those things with you soon. But in the meantime, have a great weekend. Take care of yourself. The weather's supposed to be halfway decent, so try to get outside and have a good time and all that good stuff. But stay safe, and we will definitely see you. We will see you Monday. We're not taking a day off. We'll see you Monday.
Oh yeah, we here.
Yep. All right. Peace.
By the way, Vanguard. This is protected by the red